from today?
Well, very quickly, just two things. I would like to ask you to start the conversation. Your reaction to the amendment or re-amendment of Section 60, sub 3, sub 5 of the Electoral Act 2022, with the National Assembly, the Senate, not the National Assembly, now saying that, okay, you can have electronic transmission, but where there is problem with the transmission, you use from EC8A to transmit to the IRF portal. Where the Supreme Court has said, it's a viewing portal, it's not a collation center. So do you see any problem with this? And then secondly, and even the more urgent question in my view, the United States House of Reps in a bill being pushed by Chris Smith and also Representative Riley Moore have singled out Senator Dr. Rabiu Kwankwaso as a financier of terrorism in Nigeria. Why do you think he was singled out? You are his very close associate. So what do you know? What kind of reaction do you have to that declaration by the U.S. House of Reps?
Well, Dr. Abati, as you know, I'm an old man, well above 75. So it would be better for me to answer your question one after the other. Are we talking about the Senate position on the Electoral Act, or we are taking the one on Kwankwaso?
And then Kwankwaso. No, first Senate decision this week, and also Kwankwaso.
It's okay. Just leave it here. Senate first.
Okay.
Well, the Senate had not made any amendment on the 2022 electoral law because they left it as it is. What they had done, they were just wise by half. And they thought that everybody is deaf, dumb, and unintelligent like they are. Why should they tell us we should do transmission real time, electronically, and at the same time say both? Because they came under pressure that if that is not possible, you do manual transfer. You know that for sure, if that bill is passed as it is, the INEC will be directed under the table to only use from EC8 so that they could rig election and come back to their various houses. They should know that we will know this. So we are not taking any amendment with the but. Either it is electronic transfer of election results or no. The Senate cannot be wise by half, and they should be told so. And I also would want to say that the Senate or members of the National Assembly should know that they are our servants. We sent them to do laws for the good governance of Nigeria. They don't have an opinion above the opinion of the people. And Nigerians, 101% supports electronic transmission of election results. There is no single person except a beneficiary of fraud that supports manual transfer of election results. We have gone through this. Dr. Abati, you know, in 2015, it was the use of the card reader that became the game changer. And I was in the forefront of fighting for the use of the card reader after studying the electoral processes in Ghana under Professor Ofari Gang. And this time around, I don't want the population of Nigeria to think that only politicians can put pressure. No, it is the duty of every Nigerian to come out and tell these people once and for all that enough is enough. Each time it is election cycle, they will tell us stories. What had happened between 2023 to today that they were not able to provide network coverage for the whole of Nigeria? That is possible. If they don't know, I will get them a country in this world that can borrow satellite to Nigeria for 8 hours during the conduct of that election. So please, they should not provoke Nigerians because they believe that no Nigerian matters and that we Nigerians elected them our kings, not our servants. That is for this. And of course, the issue of Chris Smith, I learned of it through my son yesterday around 10 o'clock. He sent me a clip. And later on, a lot of people started bombarding me with the questions as to that Kwankwaso was a financier of terrorism because, according to him, he was the one that promulgated a Sharia law in Kano that have made blasphemy a capital offense. I think that is most unfair. Most unfair to Kwankwaso, most unfair to his person, and most unfair to his integrity as a peaceful Nigerian. What we see is intrigues of election 2027. And you, my friends in Arise TV, are complicit in this because either in 29th of December, is it January or 30th, your sister organization, This Day newspaper, published a story about Kwankwaso and said that Kwankwaso was demanding an impossible, putting an impossible demand on the APC, that he wanted 25% of all federal appointments, that he wanted to be VP to APC or else he would not join. And incidentally and surprisingly, Arise TV constituted a panel of 3 people, all anti-Kwankwaso, and found him guilty, disparaged his image, his integrity, and blackmailed him into saying that he's selfish, he's this, he's that. That was most unfortunate coming from friends. I would have wanted to ask, did Kwankwaso ever, apart from the Paris meeting of 2023 with President Bola Tinubu, ever met with anybody from the APC to discuss issues of either merger or defection? My answer is no. And if there is any evidence available to Arise TV or This Day newspaper, who are my friends? Please, they should come up with that evidence and show the world. You are too a precious news platform that you should not be succumbing to blackmail by people who want to disparage the image of innocent Nigerians. Now, one thing led to the other. We know, we were told, there were rumors all over that Kwankwaso was going to be arrested if he refused to defect to the APC, that Kwankwaso is going to be, this is going to happen to him, that EFCC will look for him, that ICPC will look for him. Surprisingly, the matter came offshore, that is in the US. And we wonder, from where did they get that story? And the Kwankwaso was the victim of Sharia, was the victim because he was governor 2003, and Kwankwaso decided, as he is, as a principled person, as a principled politician, to go all hog with General Obasanjo as president. When other governors in northern Nigeria found it expedient to tell the world, to tell their supporters that they can vote for them as governors and vote for Buhari as president, Kwankwaso stood his grounds, despite the fact that Obasanjo is a Christian, that whoever wants to vote for him must also vote for Obasanjo. Okay. That costed him his re-election as governor of Kano State. And there are evidences to show, and I don't want to discuss, I have said this several times on this platform and other platforms. I don't want to discuss religion. I don't want to discuss tribe. I don't want to discuss ethnicity. I don't want to discuss where a Nigerian comes from. Kwankwaso is one of the people that, despite the volatility of Kano politics, that have protected all minority groups and all tribal groups in Kano. And I will give you an example. I spoke to a Kano indigene who is a Christian, Magaji Ibrahim Mato, who happens to be a Christian and a knight of Said Mulumba, who is an SAN today. And he told me that when the Sharia law was established in Kano, and it was not established by Kwankwaso, it was promulgated by the House of Assembly of Kano under pressure. And people should remember that the pressure of Sharia, Kwankwaso was reluctant and was about the last governor in Nigeria to do a Sharia law. And Shekarau used that platform of religion and Sharia, that he was coming to perfect Sharia, and Kwankwaso was not doing Sharia according to the dictates of Sharia. That is how Shekarau became the governor of Kano State. So how can anybody, how can anybody in his right senses accuse Kwankwaso, who is a loser during that Sharia debacle in Nigeria? And look, you accuse Kwankwaso of promulgating Sharia. How about those that started it? They were not mentioned. So this is politics being played by people who fear Kwankwaso being running for president or vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So they have to eliminate him technically by using newspaper houses, electronic.
Can I please interject?
Well, because it is too annoying.
I know. I can appreciate that. No, I can appreciate that. And we also appreciate the passion with which you've come in this morning, and we're grateful for that fact. But let me ask you, you made a statement, sir, towards the end of saying that, you know, and the Kwankwasia movement has released a statement, the NNPP has released a statement in defense of Dr. Rabiu Kwankwaso. And you said that because he's a political threat. But let's examine that. Political threat in what way? Because the NNPP has lost the governor of this only state where the NNPP has a governor has defected to the APC. So currently as we speak, do you still believe that the NNPP is a political threat to the APC as an opposition? Because if we're using that premise, there are other parties that some would consider bigger fishes, in quote, or bigger threats to the government of the day. But the NNPP currently doesn't have any states that it controls. The only states that it won in the last election, in Kano State, the governor has now defected and he took away some of the principal officers in his government. So would that argument hold water? That is because they are afraid of his political opposition. What weight does Dr. Kwankwaso have currently alongside the NNP and the Kwankwasia movement? And do you think it would make a dent in 2027?
Well, you're not fair to yourself. If you are fair to yourself, you should remember history. And the history is that when Abba Kabir Yusuf became governor of Kano, did we have a single elected councillor in Kano? Did we have any member of House Assembly, rep or senator in Kano or chairman of a council? We started from ground zero. And you would have asked yourself, what prompted Abba Kabir Yusuf to defect from NNPP to APC, which we christened the greatest betrayal of the century? Because if you know the history of what Abba Kabir Yusuf is to Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, then you would appreciate what I have said. Having said this, after the defection, the chairman, Professor Nantawe, or what do you call him, of APC, made a statement that they would appreciate and love if Kwankwaso would still come along because he is the big fish they are looking for. And if you are following, Kwankwaso on his way to India was in Kano last week, and he went to unannounced. He went to Singa Market, which was burnt by fire. Have you seen the crowd that gathered there? Have you seen it? Now, Secondly,
State, sir.
there are attempts.
At best, sir. Sorry,
in Kano,
he would win in Kano like he did in the last elections. He came fourth. He wasn't even close to top three.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. He is in Kano. Now, assist me. Can you tell me one politician that has a following in his base like Kwankwaso, including the president?
Okay, at national level, they vote for him in Kano State, and he wins in Kano State, and nothing. So I'm looking at the claim around him being a political threat.
How many registered voters? I say, how many registered voters in Kano?
Doesn't matter.
Why does every political party wants to work with Kwankwaso?
There are 36 states in Nigeria, sir. If you win in one state, that's enough. That's not enough to be president. And in the 2023 elections, we saw that happen. And that was even when they had Kano totally. Now, Kano is divided.
Just let me remind you, Kano is not divided. Kano is not divided. If there is a free and fair election, nobody outside Kwankwaso's camp can secure his deposit during an election if it is free, fair, and transparent. But let me also remind you, which you seem to be forgetting, that Buhari that became president, he started from one state, Nasarawa. That Tinubu that is the president of Nigeria today started from one state, which is Lagos. So what stops Kwankwaso from Kano to become the president of Nigeria? It depends on the logistics and the hand of God.
Alaji, good to see you again. Happy New Year to you. I have missed you, and it's more than a joy having you.
Malo Seni.
Alaji, great to have you.
Yes.
But Alaji, when you started talking, and you said concerning this Kwankwaso and him being named in this American bill, I thought you wanted to give evidence how Arise TV caused it before, because you kept on saying it's because of Arise TV. Then you pivoted to the story that was run on this day.
No, please.
No, let me finish. Alaji, let me finish. Alaji, let me finish.
Hold on. No. I will not allow you to mislead our... I say I will not allow you to mislead our listeners.
Alaji,
I will not allow you. Just let me make a correction.
Alaji, you have spoken. Let me speak. Alaji, we have 3 minutes. Alaji, we have 3 minutes to the end of the show. Let me land.
You are not caught... Even if we will destroy the 3 minutes in argument,
Alaji, let me land now.
Ask your question correctly.
Alaji, you get the time to talk.
You started on the wrong footing.
Alaji, wait now. Let me finish now. Please, you know I've missed you. Alaji, you're a very good man. I like you. So as I was saying, I thought you would have corroborated with evidence on how a reportage by Arise TV, led to naming Kwankwaso. But you pivoted to talking about how we reported, how Disney reported that he made very big demands. And you said, he didn't make those demands. I mean, it's the right of Disney to be able to report based on the story he got from his sources. It's your right to be able to reply. But at least I'm thankful you didn't say that we had a hand in allowing Kwankwaso to be mentioned, by the Americans. I think it's best you take your plea to the Americans and make all of this point. And I know the NNPP has reacted. They're going to write a strongly worded letter. But Alaji, the question I even want to ask you is, what faction of the NNPP are you? Because you keep saying Kwankwaso, NNPP, Kwankwaso, NNPP. Is it the one that the governor has left? Is it the one owned by Boniface and Nebu now?
I am in the faction.
What faction are you? Because we are hearing Boniface, we are hearing Kwankwaso in another faction. Now, so I don't. What faction are you? Let's clarify.
I am in the faction you support.
I don't support the NNPP. I don't have any leanings towards anybody. What faction are you?
No, you have. You have now. You always try to deliver the narrative that ANPP is a divided party, and you are not INEC.
No, but it is a divided party.
There is going to be an election. Hold on now. You spoke now. There is going to be an election on the 21st of this month in Abuja. Watch the ballot paper. Which NNPP is on the ballot?
Okay, is the NNPP on the ballots there? So
that's the one I support.
Why?
Yes.
And why is it that the only jewel in Kwankwaso's crown, the governor of Kano, he can't even keep his political godson. Why? Is that how he's not sound politically? I mean, he can't even keep his political godson. What's happening?
You are asking me? You should ask the godson now. Why did he defect? And what caused him to defect? Okay. He must have a reason. And there are reasons that are known to the public, and there are reasons that are under the table.
Okay.
And then what is the backlash in Kano and all over the world? Do they hail him as he has done something good?
Okay. We'd like to thank you very much, Alhaji Buba Galadima, for joining us on today's edition of The Morning Show.